Hey friends, and welcome back to Abiding Farmhouse. I'm so glad you're here today. Normally my videos are a day in the lifestyle, but today I'm going to share a video with y'all that a lot of you have been asking about over on Instagram and here on YouTube. This is one of my favorite videos too. I love watching what people are using for their next homeschool year, their curriculum. So that's what I'm sharing with y'all today. I'm going to share the curriculum that I chose for our next homeschool year, the 2025-2026 homeschool year. I'm so excited about it. This is one of the first years that I just feel, it's not one of the first years, I've been homeschooling for many years, but it's just a year that I feel good about my choices. Like, I'm not having any doubts. I'm just excited and I'm ready to get started in August with it. I am a mom of 10, which my two oldest have already graduated high school. One graduated in 2024, the other one just this year, 2025. So I've got two graduates. So I will be homeschooling 7 this coming year. Millie will be a preschooler. She'll be pre-K, 4K, and then I'll have a first grader, a second grader, a fourth grader, a fifth grader, and then a 7th grader. So I've got them all kind of right there together. And then I also have a 10th grader. I'll have one high schooler this coming year, so she'll have like her whole separate thing for high school. High school is like a whole different deal for us. But my 7th grade, my preschooler and my 7th grade, we can kind of share some things like science and social studies, history, whatever. I'll show you that all in this video. And then I have a 14-month-old little boy. He'll just kind of be in the midst here and there, probably getting into everything. He just learned how to walk yesterday, so I'm sure he'll be getting into some things. I'll try to find like puzzles and things like that to keep him busy during our school year. So anyway, that's what we've got going on this coming year. I have 9 girls and 1 boy, and my husband and I have been married for 20 years. Here on this channel, if you've been following me, I just love to share our day in the life, our passion for Christ, homeschooling, homemaking, all the motherhood things. And I would love, if you're brand new and you're visiting for the first time, if you would subscribe, become part of our YouTube family. That would mean so much to me, and introduce yourself in the comments. I love to get to know you. But anyway, let's jump straight into what I chose for our curriculum for next year. All right, we're gonna start down here with K4 preschool, which will be Millie. Normally I don't do like a whole preschool curriculum, but I couldn't pass this up because this comes with this teacher's manual as well as these books shown. But this is on back order, as well as some stuff for 5th grade that's on back order, which won't be shipped till like sometime in July. So all I have for K4 right now is the teacher's manual, but I am expecting all of this here. So anyway, hopefully I'll get all of that soon. Move it on to grade 1, which is Everly. I have chose Abeka, obviously, for preschool. So I have, Abeka is my biggest like curriculum choice this year. So I chose it for language arts and math all the way around except for my high schooler. And I'm still debating on a subject for her, their math subject for my high schooler. I'm not sure yet, but language arts and math is a definite for all of my other kids. So for grade 1, here's our language arts and math, which it comes with everything you need. It comes with the video manual. We are doing the videos only for language arts and math. That'll be the only 2 subjects this year that they have on the computer. The rest is group. So I've got my math video manual, her math textbook, video manual for reading, language arts, and then her writing with phonics manuscript. And I'm not sure if this is normal or not. I need to call them. So this came with 3 writing tablets. So if you have ordered from Abeka, do you normally get 3 writing tablets, or did they make a mistake and send me too many? I'm not sure, but there's 3 there. And then language 1 seat work, and then my teacher's guide. And then back here I have more of like my teacher's guides and answer keys and things like that. And then back here is her manuscript, A through Z and 1 through 10 flashcards. So I'm glad to have that. Those are hers, and these are her readers. Comes with a primary Bible, this little book Tiptoes, Stepping Stones, Secrets and Surprises, Animals and the Great Outdoors, Handbook for Reading, Aesop's Fables. Oops, that one's upside down, isn't it? Strong and True, Kind and Brave, Fun with Pets. And then the last one is Down by the Sea. So that is her like phonics, reading, language arts, math, kind of all in one there with Abeka. And then moving on to grade 2, same. Phonics and language grade 2, my teacher's manual, the video manual and the reading answer key there. Writing with phonics, her skill sheets, which that's the parent edition there, her actual textbook, reading comprehension, spelling and poetry, and the 2nd grade writing tablet. And as far as math goes, so for math, I felt like she still needed to start out on a grade 1 level. She's going into 2nd grade. But I felt like she needed to stay with 1st grade level math, and then we'll work our way up to grade 2, especially since Rebecca's a little advanced. And what I'm going to do is, since Everly will also be on the grade 1 math, they're just going to watch that video together, the math video, and then they'll have their separate worksheets. I made sure they have separate worksheets so they can, it'll be kind of fun. My 1st grader, 2nd grader working on math together. So hopefully that goes as planned, and they can watch that video together and work on math. And then once I feel like she's where she needs to be, then we'll bump her on up to grade 2 math. And then her cards, which is A through Z and 1 through 10 again, but it's in cursive. Test keys, things like that are back there. And then her books are Growing Up in Early America, My New Name, Growing Up Where Jesus Lived, Through the Skies, Growing Up Around the World, Handbook for Reading, Primary Reader, The Bible Reader, Fun with Friends, Across the Meadow, All Kinds of Animals, Quest for Adventure, and Wonders of Imagination. Alright, so moving on to grade 4, which is the same in Becca for language arts and math. Her arithmetic book, grade 4, Writing with Purpose, and then her reading comprehension, my video manual, God's Gift of Language, this is her workbook, and then spelling and vocabulary and poetry. Grade 4, I love that Becca includes all of this together. Like, it has your spelling, your grammar, your vocabulary, everything that you need with their language arts program. And then back there are again my teacher keys, teacher manuals, things like that. Her readers came with Road Trip East, Gifts and Gadgets, Once Upon a Story, Adventures in Other Lands, Song of the Brook, Pilgrim's Progress, Fables and Folktales, Road Trip West, In His Hands. So those are her readers there. Now let's move on to grade 5 for Amy. Her arithmetic book, and then her language. Kind of the same as grade 4, just a different grade level. So God's Gift of Language 5, Writing with Creativity, Reading Comprehension, and then her spelling, vocabulary, and poetry, which I did get an email saying there are some things for grade 5 that are on back order. So I'm still waiting for a few things for her. And then teacher manuals, keys, everything that I need is back there. Quizzes, tests, it comes with everything, y'all, which I am not big on giving tests in elementary school. So a lot of times, like last year when we would come to a test, we would skip that test just because I don't feel it's necessary to take a quiz or a test all of the time. But it does come with that. If that's something that you do and you quiz and test after every few lessons or whatever, it does come with that. And then her reader, she's looked through these. She said, "Ooh, they look so interesting." She's my one. She loves to read. Adventures in Nature, of America, Hometown Tales, Message of the Mountain, More Than Conquerors, Noah Webster, and Character, and Wonders Within. So that's her readers. Now we're going to move on to my 7th grader. She is my very young 7th grader. So she has a very late May birthday. So when August rolled around, she started kindergarten as a young 5-year-old. So I feel like those are like, you know, your younger kids when they change grades. But I did go ahead and move her up to grade 7 for her language arts because I just feel like she's totally ready for that. And honestly, I was back and forth on her math because I feel like, yes, she could do the grade 7 math, but then I also didn't want it to be a struggle at the beginning because we've always done teaching textbooks, and I feel like this is just a little bit more advanced than that, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I just feel like it is a little more advanced. So I wanted to start her out with the 6th Becca, and then once I feel like she is in a good place, moving on to 7, or we may do this all year, I don't know. But it did come with my video manual, her arithmetic book, grade 7 grammar and composition, which I did look through this, and a lot of this she was already learning that last year. So I don't think this is going to be like overly complicated or anything for her learning how to write like business letters and things like that. A lot of this she did go through some of it last year. Her vocabulary and spelling and poetry, her literature, my video manual, and the teacher key there. And then I've got more teacher keys back here along with the quiz and test and things like that. Alright, and now on to my high schooler. She will be my 10th grader. I do not have everything here to show you for high school because we are still trying to figure everything out for her. We still have time, so we're trying to figure everything out. But we do know she will be taking Spanish 1. And then that is with Bob Jones because I already had this, so we're going to go ahead and use our Bob Jones Spanish. She took U.S. history and government last year in 9th grade, but here we're required to take one more social studies, like a world history or something. So this is a world history curriculum, and it is by Ace Pace. And then we're going to do English Ace Pace as well. I used these 1 year, I think we with Kylie and Allie. We didn't use them every year, but I did use them 1 year for their English. So I'm going to do this with her. I think she'll enjoy this. So I've got that, and then the teacher keys and everything down there. Biology, still kind of, she will be taking biology, but still trying to figure out which curriculum place I want to go with for that. And she will be doing obviously math, and I'm back and forth on that. So I haven't made a decision there. And then she does have a couple of electives to pick out. So I think one of them's going to be photography. We're trying to kind of, like I said, we're still working on high school stuff. It gets a little more in-depth, a little more complicated. So now we're going to move on to our group subjects. So I am so excited about our history this year. We are going to be using America's History by Tuttle Twins. I already have all the Tuttle Twins books, which the kids have already been reading those over the past few months. This just looks so interesting, and this is actually from kindergarten to, I want to say, 7th or 8th grade. So that is perfect for us because I'll have one from 1st grade all the way to 7th grade, and I can include everybody. Of course, I can make it more advanced if I want to for my older ones, and then I can make it as simple as I want to for my little kids. And I was looking through this, and it talks about like Marco Polo. So I went to Amazon and I ordered a Who Was Marco Polo book. We love the Who Was and What Was books, the collection. Let me show you what I'm talking about real quick. So I have had these on my bookshelves for many years now, ever since my older girls were little. We've got Who Was Christopher Columbus. I will not go through all of these. I will just kind of show you what we've got here. Here is the newest one I added just because I noticed that that book would talk about Marco Polo, and I thought that would be perfect to go along with it. So I'm really liking the idea that our history and our science with my younger kids is going to be kind of simple this year. I mean, it's going to be in depth and we're going to learn, but we're keeping it more on the simple side. We're going to read books. We're going to watch videos. We're going to do things like that. It's not going to be like over the top, but it's going to be where we can really learn and absorb information. So I am so excited about it. And inside of this book, y'all, it is so pretty. It's fun to look at. So I know it's not going to be boring at all. And there are Tuttle Twin episodes as well that we've watched before that are super interesting. So I'm very excited about this. Alright, so now let's move on to our science. This is our science for this year, biology for the grammar stage. And I will be using this with my 1st grader, 2nd grader, 4th grader, 5th grader, and my 7th grader. I feel like I've looked through this. I feel like it's great for all of those grades. Like with any curriculum, you can make it as hard as you want or as easy as you want. You can add things to it, take away, whatever you need to do. You're the teacher. So I've got my teacher's guide here to go with it. I've already looked through that. I've already ordered a few of the things that it suggested that I order at the beginning of the book. A few books. They should be here tomorrow, I think. I'm also going to go and get some of these templates so that we can print those out and use them. And then I only got 3 student workbooks though, because I'm going to use this for my 7th, 5th, and 4th grader. My 2nd and 1st grader, I don't feel like they need one of these books. I feel like they would be better off just listening in and maybe drawing a picture if I want them to draw a picture of something. But I just love the simplicity of this, but I love that we are still learning a lot. I am really excited to dive deep into this year. So we'll be learning about living things, non-living things, animals, and we'll continue with the human body. If you remember this past year, we were learning about the human body, and we had our human body glued to the wall and added our body parts to it. So we will just continue on with that, and we'll be learning about the plants. I'm so excited. Yeah, I think this is one of the years I am like super excited about the curriculum that I chose. I'm happy with what I chose. I took some time and prayed about it before I ordered. I really thought everything through, and I'm pleased with my choices this year. I'm not having one of those where I'm doubting what I got. And then I got these to read with my little kids, but of course my older elementary can listen in, and my 7th grade if they want to. And these just like fun little books. I've never had these before, but it's just How a City Works. I got that. There were so many to choose from, so I'll probably go back and get more. But this one is How a City Works, Animals in Winter, What Makes a Blizzard, and Feel the Wind. And if you're wondering, these are called Let's Read and Find Out. So you just read together to figure out why all of these happen, or why all these things occur. So Let's Read and Find Out. I actually got these on Rainbow Resource, I believe. So those are fun. You'll have to go check them out. There's so many more to choose from. And then for Bible, which I do not have here on this table, it is the same Bible curriculum that we are finishing up this summer. We actually are working on it every day this summer. It is Driven by Grace, and we're going through the New Testament, and I have my teacher's guide, and the kids have their student books, and we are just continuing on with that. I'll try to get those in a minute and show it to you. I know that way you have a visual of what I'm talking about. And once we complete that whole book, then we'll move on to a new book. So that is what we'll be doing for Bible. I'll go get that in a second so you can see it. All right, so here they are. They're actually in here in the living room by the couch on the table, like I said, because we've been doing this every morning around 10 a.m. and we are enjoying it so much. So it's Foundations of the Bible. We've got Everly's there, Holly's. I'm trying to get to my teacher's guide. I think it's somewhere on the bottom. There it is. So I just read through it, and the kids have pictures to color in their workbooks. Let me see if I can go to that for y'all. It has tracing, coloring, and they just listen in and color while I do the Bible study. And we are absolutely enjoying this. Like I said, it's Driven by Grace. I'll try to remember to leave as many links down below as possible. All right, y'all, so I really have thought about everything in this curriculum video. I'm even going to show you what homeschool planner I'm going to be using next year. I'm going to be using a Simple Plan by Mardell, the 2025-2026 homeschool planner. I used this years prior before. I didn't use it last year, but I have used it if it's up to 6 kids. The biggest reason I love this is because it gives scripture throughout. Beautiful pages. I don't know, just having scripture and things that talk about the Bible mean a lot to me. So it's awesome. It has planning pages, yearly overview. I won't go through this whole thing, and some of you may be bored. It has students' weekly schedule, and then we'll go to our month at a glance. We have an overview of things here. Even has a little reading list there for the month. There is our month at a glance, and then the planning pages look like this. So you got your date and the day at the top, and then right here it says subject, if you can see that right there. And then you can just write your subjects down through here, and then after you get your subjects, you just put like, for example, so you could actually do this 2 ways. I would say you could do your subjects and then just like put like initial for each kid and the lesson they're on, or you could put each kid's name down the side and let them have their own column. I have done that both ways, so I haven't decided which way I'm going to do it yet. If y'all have this planner, let me know which way you do. And then I have a note section over here, weekly assignments, things like that. So I'm just loving it. I also got Emily the student planner because once my kids reach high school, I get them their own planner. I'm no longer in charge or responsible for writing everything down for them. It's time to teach responsibility. So they write down everything that they do each day. They're responsible. I double check that, make sure they're doing it. I make sure they write down their lessons that they're on. They keep record of everything. I really think that helps them be accountable. It teaches them to be responsible for even after high school. So once they reach 9th grade, they're responsible for keeping their own planner. And I have done that since Kylie started 9th grade and she graduated. And Allie graduated this past year, and they both did a great job with it. So we're doing it with Emily now, and I'll continue to do that with all my kids. So anyway, that's that. That's my planner. But that's it. That is our choices for the 2025-2026 homeschool year. I hope that it inspired you some, maybe gave you some ideas for your homeschool next year. If you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments down below. I'm planning over on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's abiding_farmhouse. You can go over there. I'm planning to do some stories to kind of show some more in-depth of those books. If you want to get like a deeper look through those, it's just easier to pop on my stories and kind of show little glimpses of our day there than it is to make like a whole video for YouTube. So if you want to like know more about the homeschool or look inside the curriculum, then Instagram will be the place to find that. But if you do have any questions about the curriculum that I chose, about our upcoming school year, anything, feel free to ask and I will do my best to answer those in the comments down below. But like I said, if you're new here, I would love if you would subscribe, give this video a thumbs up before you leave today, and as always, I will talk to the comments. Bye friends.